What is up, YouTube? Jonusfatson back. I'm doing my final E3 2017 video. Still in the hotel, so no green screen. You can see the lovely city of Vancouver behind me. First and foremost, I want to say thank you for the support on the videos as they are right now out. So pretty happy with E3 in general. The only one I didn't actually do a review reaction rather that I wish I did was EA, but I think I did a lot of the other ones that I did. So I wanted to do a video just kind of a press conference overall reaction to kind of how it felt. We're in a weird place right now in terms of E3. I'm just gonna put this here so I don't have to hold it. And by that I mean that there's no new consoles. I mean, there was a new console announced, but we all knew that Scorpio or Xbox One X was coming, and it wasn't really like, it's not a new console. It's still Gen 7 for the consoles that exist. Not like there was a next gen console that was announced. So we're kind of in like a limbo almost of kind of in the middle of where we are. So typically the way that it'll work is the E3 seems to go on cycles at this point, every 6-7 years. The year that the console launches are announced, they're huge. Some of the biggest E3s that you'll have, unless you're Sony in like 2006, and then the giant grab meme almost ruins your business. Other than that, though, the year after is, here's how our first year went. Here are the games that are coming that you need to check out. Second year is, hey, we didn't deliver on year 1 games. Check out these year 2 games, and people have been working on it since launch. Here they come. Excuse me. And we're now at a point, because we're at 3 or 4 years, I want to say, in the current console generation. It's a little bit of like a waiting game to say, what's the next gen stuff going to be? It's too early to announce it. So it's a little bit of limbo. And usually the way that you can overcome that is putting sequels out to launch titles, or new IPs and risks, and take things like that. So overall, I was a little underwhelmed overall from the conference. There were some cool titles that came out, and I'll talk about them in a second. But I felt this was E3 as an overall, if I had to give it a grade, was probably like a B- or a C+, like B-, I would say, just due to the announcements, due to the overall reactions to everything. The Insomniac Spider-Man from Sony was like the biggest reaction they had from it, and that's saying something, because that's not really a title that everybody was expecting to be their number one game on the presser. So that is what it is. Anyway, some of the games that I really am looking forward to checking out: Anthem, BioWare's answer to Destiny, basically, and Titanfall. I believe it's coming out on the Xbox and PC. I think it's 2018, early 2018. It's coming out. That looks like it's going to be a good game. And if BioWare does a good job at it, it could rival Destiny 2 on that, which was another game that I thought, I didn't play Destiny 1. I might play the second Destiny, because it does look like they're enhancing kind of what they did. Obviously, next, this is in no order, by the way. This is completely, I just wrote it on a notepad in my computer, and this is just, if I miss games, I'm sorry, that you really like. These are just games that stood out. I didn't put much forethought into it. Metroid Prime 4, cool, no details, but don't think they need it. So that's coming. That'll be good. Wolfenstein 2, still pretty stoked for it. I kind of mentioned it. I think that was the highlight of the Bethesda conference, and it's like highlighting a piece of shit. So you kind of notice when somebody puts a highlighter on a big turd on the sidewalk. So it looks like it might be okay. Beyond Good and Evil. So Ubisoft overall, by the way, Ubisoft won out of the conferences for me. I know I think I rated Nintendo higher than Ubisoft. If I recall, I think I gave Ubisoft a B plus and Microsoft an A minus. I think, but I thought back after, and Ubisoft kind of delivered more than the three main hardware companies and the three main software companies, or of the three main hardware or software. So I think I got to give it to Ubisoft on this one. Usually it's either Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo that you're going to give best in show to, but Ubisoft delivered, and that's weird to say because they're very hit and miss as a development company. Beyond Good and Evil 2, though, that probably, if I really take a hard look at it, it's probably Game of Show for me at this point. They didn't really show a ton, again, just like Metroid Prime 4, but they didn't necessarily need to. And I think that's fine. I think they can get away with it. There was maybe like an intro cinematic or something. If it's on the game floor, cool, but I haven't seen anything. I haven't had time, but I've just been waiting like, what, 15 years for it? Bring it out. They didn't even do a remake of the first one or a remaster, and I think that would have sold like crazy. But Insomniac Spider-Man, that looks really, really good. One of the things that I noticed with it is that it takes like kind of the Spider-Man 2 from like the PS2 GameCube era, the way that you travel around, and looks like it modernizes it, which is great. The movement and the environment was great in that game, and it looks like they kind of looked at that one and went, how can we do that? Mix it with Metal Gear Solid and Arkham Asylum and make a Spider-Man game from it. So pretty, I think it's going to be a good game. Metroid Odyssey was next on my list. It's going to be fine. There's not really many risks involved with it. There's that ghost hat, which is fine. It's going to be a fine game, but I don't have the same level of excitement for it as I did when Mario Galaxy was announced, because I felt that was a much different direction in the game. Even though it was a 3D platformer, it felt different than what it is now that they're settled in the 3D environment after Galaxy and 3D Mario World came out. They're kind of doing the same thing. Samus Returns is another one I put on there. I've played AM2R, and I don't think it's going to be better than it, because that game, that remake is phenomenal. Samus Returns, hopefully they take some nods from AM2R. Shadow of War looks great. The Nemesis feature mechanics, I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, that one's going to be fun. Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom. This wasn't announced at any of the main pressers, and I'll talk to that in a second here as well. Level 5 still developing it, and it looks like it's going to be a good game. I pumped in like 100 hours into the first Ni no Kuni. That was a fresh and new IP that I got into, and I bawled like a goddamn baby in the first freaking scene. 10 minutes in the game, I have to pause it, go buy Kleenex because I'm a manly man. I don't keep it in my house, and then come back and playing. Last night, apologies. It's like a pixel art. I touched on this in an earlier video. I think it was at the Microsoft presser. Pixel art, Blade Runner, rave and electronic kind of atmosphere with it. That is rivaling Beyond Good and Evil 2 for Game & Show for me. I love the art style. I wish I saw a little bit more of the gameplay. And again, if it's on the Game Show floor, it doesn't do me a lot of good here because I ain't there. And God of War 4. I wish they showed a little bit more. The snake, I looked back at the trailer. The weird snake thing that was on their side, but they thought it wasn't on its side, and then it was, I'm here to help you. Seems a little weird. I hope that's just like one mission, or it turns like that snake's going to be evil as shit in the game. So prepare for that. Also prepare for that little kid to probably die at some point, and you will cry like a baby, just like Nino Cooney. No spoilers there, by the way. And it's in the first 2 minutes. And it came out 4 years ago. So if I ruin the game for you, dude, fuck you. Some of the stuff that disappointment. So now that's some of the best stuff I saw. That I feel anyway, and it's all games. There's no hardware there. There's no platforms there that I was really excited for. It is what it is. Last of Us 2, nowhere to be found. Final Fantasy VII Remake, nowhere to be found. Kingdom Hearts 3, nowhere to be found. Big misses. I know that would be kind of touching on some of the stuff from last year, but we wanted more. We wanted to see more gameplay from the remake because there hasn't been a ton of it. There's been some, not enough, and that game is going to sell like freaking, I don't even know, crack to a crackhead. It's going to be ridiculous. PSVR, speaking on VR, I was really hoping that there would be just general price drops in virtual reality. There hasn't been. I thought the PlayStation one was prime time to get in there and announce like maybe a pro bundle with VR. If they would have done something, they probably would have been in a very good spot. But no price drop, no Vita 2 or any sort of mobile thing as well. Not that I'm saying that they should have, but it's roughly that time when like a new mobile would be announced, and I just don't think Sony has the love for it. They don't have the love for the Vita, which is sad. And it feels like they're starting to lose love on the VR as well a little bit. They didn't really do much with it. No Mother 3 from the Nintendo thing. I actually I didn't mention it, but I did I was hoping for it. I didn't expect it, but I was hoping for it. The Bethesda conference was a general disappointment. The Creation Club, I hope they realize that should not happen. Do the Wii Music thing from Nintendo and just like release it, but don't, and just ignore it. It's not going to be good. Or just, I don't know. It's not going to be great. EA's conference in general was just a disappointment. Nintendo, no new IP. I was really kind of looking forward to something like when they do a new IP, they can do it all. Like Splatoon was a new IP from them, and look how well that game is doing. There was a new IP a couple years ago. How long was it? I think it was like Captain Rainbow, made by Nintendo. It was a Japanese-only game. Should have released it here. It's a new game. Even if I have never played the game, but if it's shit, at least it's new. Yeah, and yeah, the next, I put the Xbox One X on there as a disappointment on the list. The price is what I expected, but it's too much. It's like $100 more than the PSR or a PS4 Pro, and I know that the specs are bigger on it. I know that it's better hardware, and it's a Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray player, but got the dumbest name in history, and I don't think that they really thought through what people wanted from a generational gap console, and that feels weird to say. The next item, I have so much goddamn Skyrim. There's freaking Skyrim on everything. I think this like hotel TV you can play Skyrim on it. Like the game came out what, like 6 years ago, 7 years ago or something. It doesn't need to come on everything. Next, they're going to release it on Android, iOS. I don't know if they will, or if it's already on there. I have no idea. It's kind of Skyrimmed out. I wanted Elder Scrolls 6. I didn't get it, and all I got was more Skyrim, and not super thrilled on it. Kind of like Rockstar with Grand Theft Auto. They kind of like, they found a cash cow and they're sucking the teat of said cash cow. And then there wasn't really very many indie games shown. Last year, it was last year or the year before, Nintendo and Sony came out, and there might have been different years, but they both came out saying like, we love the indie game community. It's basically made the PlayStation 1, and we are going to be there to support them 100%. There were no indie games shown at the Sony presser at all. There was a couple shown at the Microsoft, and none shown at the Nintendo, and a couple or a few at the PC gaming one as well, which I didn't do a review for, but yeah, maybe I will. I did take notes, but I just didn't do it for it. Yeah, kind of a lack of indie. It's almost like there needs to be like a separate. I mean, there kind of is like a separate indie conference, and that's like PAX West and East. But yeah, I was expecting more indie titles, something new that hasn't been shown. It was okay. Just that's my thoughts on E3. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you rate the overall conference for this year? I know it's still going at the time this video is going up, but if let's put it this way, it's the end of the school year. E3, the kid is coming up. His big brother's in the grade above him, and you gave the last year's E3, Big Brother E3, would have probably gave him like an A- or an A, not an A+, but like that was a great E3. This year's, you can tell that the parents like raised the second kid a little bit like lackluster. They were like, well, this kid doesn't need cloth diapers like the first one. We don't need to take all the pictures of the second kid because we already have pictures of the first kid. Like, can we just like hire a nanny and the nanny can take care of the kid? And that, cool, whatever, that's fine. The nanny, take care of it. You guys do you. That's what it felt like. It felt like maybe it was outsourced to somebody else on the teams, each respective one, other than Ubisoft, I guess, that said, hey, what do you guys want to do for E3? And they put like a thing around the memo, or an email around their respective companies, and people voted on it or some shit. I don't know. Anyway, that's my thoughts on E3. Let me know what you guys think. I'm hoping next year will be good. There's the Tokyo Game Show coming up in a couple months. It might be better. Maybe they'll actually show Shenmue 3. That would be kind of cool. I know that they announced before that there was nothing new coming with it. They didn't have time. I'm fine with it. But hopefully something comes up at Tokyo Game Show. Anyway, let me know in your comments what you guys think. Like I said, if there's any games that you guys are looking forward to, let me know as well. If I missed on the list, it's not that I don't like the game. It's just that there are a lot of games that happen at E3. I may have just missed the announcement if it was on a side note. So let me know. Let me know what you guys are looking forward to playing from E3. Let me know what you guys are looking forward to. If any opinions changed from E3 from before, like any of the Bethesda stuff. Like, say you were gonna pick up Skyrim for the Switch, but now you're not because of the DLC and etc. with it. So, is anything surprise you? Did any games that you're looking forward to playing, or any games that you're no longer caring on playing? So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Be sure hit the like and subscribe button like every single video, and follow me on Twitter. Same handle here as it is there. So I will I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Also be sure to check out the other content on my channel if you like indie and peace out.